Hey, you know how I'm feeling?
That word.
Just like this, bro, after this weekend.
This is an audio medium. You're holding up a coaster. It says "horny AF."
Horny AF,
Just for
baby.
the people listening.
Yeah. If you're not watching this on YouTube, I'm probably going to clip this too.
Got it.
Cheap plug, youtube.com/veterans minimum. You
Nice.
know how we do. We haven't dropped a cheap plug in a while. So
That's true.
What's good?
I was busy this weekend.
You were getting after it.
I was on my phone a lot this weekend.
You were fucking buzzing getting after it.
It was a great weekend. I don't know. I read a lot of people in New York lost money sports betting. Not me.
A lot of people.
Not me. A lot of rookies out there. But welcome to the club if that was your first time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, it's funny. So my mom hits me up and goes, have you noticed all these bonuses that these sports books are giving up? That's so nice of them. I was like, Ma, you're a legend. She's like, why? I go, they're going to make this all back. They're giving you the free bonuses and the sign-up bonuses and 100% match deposit. You know why?
So they're going to get you on the hook.
Oh, we got another. And then that's it, bro. That's it.
So I think I don't know if I've talked about this yet, but I think there's two different types of sports bettors right now. There's the casual sports bettor who will probably, rock with one app because they like the interface or whatever, for whatever reason, they think it operates better or it looks cleaner, right? Mm-hmm. Or maybe, in a weird reason, not a weird reason, but, maybe you own stock, right? Maybe you own like DraftKings stock. So like if I own DraftKings stock, right?
You would rather play it there.
I'm going to put my money in DraftKings because I'm going to support the company that I own stock in. So I think there's going to be people that are, will casually use certain apps for whatever that reason is. And then there's going to be the segment of people that are using all apps to find the best lines.
Bingo.
So that's kind of...
The analogy I use when I explain shopping lines is like if you're going to shop for anything.
It's like...
Literally anything you go to the store for. Dude, when you were younger, because, I went to the mall for Christmas to go get something for my mom. But prior to that, I haven't been to a mall in about 3-4 years.
I think that's where I caught COVID.
Yeah, going to the mall?
Yeah.
That shit was buzzing.
Yeah. Hot COVID in there. Up in there. Mad COVID in there.
So when you would go and shop for a hat, right? You're a hat guy. You wouldn't just buy it at the first store you saw it at. If you saw that hat, right? Wouldn't you go to like multiple stores? Maybe you could get it $5 cheaper, $10 cheaper.
Yeah.
Right? You go to shop for the hat. It's the same analogy that you would use to shop in the lines.
Yeah.
One book might have -7. The other book might have -6.5, but that -6.5 is -140. So now you got to lay 140 to win 100, where the -7 is -105. And you're like, man, that $35, I don't even think it's worth it. Let me just take that at -7.
Yeah.
Even though 6.5 is a better line, I'm laying more juice, a little more vig, getting squeezed a little bit more.
I do it. I do it. I feel like whenever I take a cab. I know this is kind of weird, but like I'll open up that Uber app and I'll open up that Lyft app. We're not sponsored by either of them, but if you'd like to sponsor,
Yeah, shout out,
cool.
yeah,
Uber, Lyft, whatever.
Just call us. We'll answer.
I'll pop open the app.
Yeah.
I'll look at the price on there, and I'll pop open the other app, and I'll look at the price there for the same car ride, right? And then I'm shopping. I'm shopping the price of the car ride. So, getting some. You'd be surprised. MGM has lines here. DraftKings has certain lines here. So yeah, that's been a fun part of the weekend is being able to bounce around all of the different apps. Oh, if I really like this pick. I have right now. I was using 3 apps this weekend: Caesars, FanDuel, and DraftKings. So if I really like the pick, I'm shopping that across all 3 minimum right now, which is awesome, and it gives me the competitive advantage as a consumer because that's all you want as a consumer is you want competition. The more competition, the better the product.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why the state of Florida is actually. There's some issues with the state of Florida where I'm almost positive that, there is going to be a whole bunch of competition in the state of Florida where initially it wasn't the case. And the argument was you add more operators, more sportsbook operators, that's better for everyone in the long run. And so, that's just a little bit of taste of Florida and everyone's having a whole bunch of fun in New York.
I'm a moron when it comes to politics.
Yeah.
I like that you agree because that means you know me well. You know how in elections you always hear the swing states that's going to decide whatever, or like the big states that everyone knows, like this is a blue state, this is a red state. What you needed in sports betting to happen before the monsoon of just all the states being like, gimme, 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 I want it, is you needed one state with balls, like a New York, to be like, oh, we need this shit here.
Yeah.
17 million check-ins on the apps on Saturday alone.
Yeah.
People were going crazy. So why I bring that up and make that politics thing is now your Florida's who is on deck to have it be looked at, right? Your Massachusetts,
your California,
Ohio, Texas, even Roll Damn Tide, Alabama. Now they're gonna be like, yo, how much money is leaving our state to go over the border, like New York? Dude, in 2019, the documentary that I was involved in, 2019, $830 million was wagered by New York residents.
In Jersey?
In Jersey.
Yeah.
Guess what? That money's staying here now.
It's also a lot less traffic.
A lot less traffic. It's the time that you save.
Yeah.
All right, Boss and I would go all the time. Every weekend we would go.
Yeah.
Or, you know, even my pops and his buddies, they take trips. I'll actually be out in Jersey this weekend because it's wild card tradition. Boss and I always go there. You might be tagging along. I hit up your boy Rick. Shouts to Rick. I was like, yo, pull up, man. We go every year. Last year we didn't go because of COVID, but we went the last 3 years prior when it opened up. So, yeah, I'm still going to be going to Jersey, but I'll tell you this much. I did some in-game yesterday. It's a convenience thing, which is what we always spoke about from day one.
Convenience and technology. I guess those two go hand in hand. The technology is convenient in the sense that I'll give you a perfect example. Yesterday, I had a couple of big, money line favorites in a parlay, the Colts included, right? Jaguars go up a decent amount early on. I cashed the ticket. I only wound up losing a few bucks, and guess what? That parlay wound up being a miss. So you get to limit some of your risk if you're if you're getting a hunch early on in a game. A lot of people knew from the beginning of the Jaguars game for some reason, right? The Jaguars just looked really good.
Lawrence came out 8 of 8.
So that's in a situation where it's like I can cash my bet out. You can't really do that if you're using kind of an illegal app or some offshore, things of that.
Or if you have to physically go in person to the sports book.
Absolutely.
Which is what a lot of these states have. So you could do one of two things when it comes to betting. You could have your traditional brick and mortar casino sports book setup where you go and you physically, with your cash, because they only take cash, you pay cash. Impy is the person at the window. Yo, I want the Washington football team, which I had, -6.5. They gives you a ticket, you pay it, you go back, you collect your winnings, and the whole nine. But if I go back home to New York and I want to go and in-game that or double down on it, it's like I got to go all the way back. So some states you have to physically be in person.
Yeah.
Mobile betting allows that to be way more convenient, man. It's really at the end of it, it's a convenience thing.
Yeah. And it was a great weekend. It was a lot of fun. This is what it's all about. It's
Did it change the viewing experience for you?
No, the viewing experience of watching.
Like, would you have been as invested as if you didn't have this?
No. And I say that for some of the fringe sports. Like, I was betting on, like, La Liga and Bundesliga
You
soccer.
hit me up with some Bundesliga. You even hit me with the both teams to score. You gave me a BTTS, bro.
I'm telling you, man. I mean, we've talked about it. You've probably put me onto this more than anybody else. And some of those sports where they're not as popular, they don't know the teams as well, right? You can get, they're hanging bad lines and, what game did I take tonight? Like a Pepperdine game. Some of these college basketball teams or soccer teams across the world, the bookmakers and the odds makers just don't know. Sometimes you get good value on some of those.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I've been enjoying it. Bundesliga is high scoring, man.
You couldn't be more right about that. Like it's always been an issue. Like in the past, the hardest thing, and I don't know if it's as hard as it once used to be, but could you imagine having to set lines in the 80s and the 90s for college basketball when not every single college basketball team or league or conference had their own channel, and you have Hofstra playing Stony Brook,
and then we got box scores in newspapers.
You don't know what the lines could be. You don't see those. When do you see Hofstra and Stony Brook?
Yeah, no.
If they make the tournament, congrats. You see them play Duke and get throttled. So how do you properly set those lines? That's why when all these conspiracy theorists would come out, or all the people that were anti-sports betting, they would say it's going to ruin the integrity of the game. They're going to sabotage the game. It was never going to be an issue at the professional level. How many times have we talked about this on the show?
How much can you give Chris Paul to throw a game?
Exactly. That's the name that I was going to bring up too. So we've mentioned this in the past.
And another thing is...
But you could do that to the Stony Brook point guard, who even with the NIL deal, how much could he possibly make?
Yeah, now.
So if I throw him 50 G's and I'm like, hey, man, the line is -8. You know what? Win by 4 tonight.
Bro, he just promoted a crypto app for $75K on his Twitter. I don't know if he needs the 50.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no.
Now the NIL helps this.
Without a doubt.
There's a lot of these states that don't allow you to bet on games involving in-state colleges, though.
Okay.
So like New Mexico. Shouts to New Mexico. You could bet in person only. They don't have mobile yet. And you can't bet on New Mexico State. You're not allowed to.
Okay. I think you can't bet on Rutgers in New Jersey, right?
In New Jersey, the same thing. In New Jersey, it's in person and mobile. You can't bet on games involving in-state. It's the same thing with Delaware. It's the same thing with Rhode Island. Shout out to Rhode Island. But a lot of these places, they don't really have mobile yet. That's a whole nother dynamic, because that one, you have an entire app that you have to have people dedicated to controlling and make sure nothing crashes, or make sure it's plus 120 and not plus 1200.
Yeah.
So from plus 120 to 12 to 1 odds, that could be a huge typo.
Yeah.
So it's a completely different animal when it comes to mobile. But again, at its core, it's all about one thing. It's about convenience, right? It's just like with Uber.
Yep.
It's just like with Uber Eats or Grubhub, whatever it is. You want it to be digestible at your convenience.